Hey guys, Aaron Farmer here with mysugarfreejourney.com. So last week, Dr. Oz gave a speech. He's in charge of Medicare and Medicaid, and he kind of went over some of the things that he's planning on doing with Medicare and Medicaid moving forward. I thought it was really interesting, and again, I'm a big fan of the focus that this administration has put on health. I'm a big fan of RFK, and I'm hoping Dr. Oz being in charge of Medicare and Medicaid is turns out to be a good thing long term. One of the things he said was that 70% of all of our healthcare expenditures are driven by chronic disease. And I think we all know this. Healthcare expenditures are the single leading cause of personal bankruptcy. So we're literally going bankrupt as a country because of these chronic diseases. And you've probably had it happen to you. I know I've had it happen to me, where you go into the doctor's office, and they check your blood pressure, they check your weight, they run a blood test, check your cholesterol, and then it's just a checklist. Oh, you've got high blood pressure, here, take this pill. You've got high blood sugar, take this pill. You've got high cholesterol, take this pill. And we all walk out of the doctor's office with 3 or 4 prescriptions that, as far as we know, we're going to be taking for the rest of our life, because there's never a time when the doctor reevaluates everything and starts taking you off medications, because that's the point of going to the doctors, it seems like, is to get you on medications. I've said it many times. I've said it to my family to the point where they're kind of tired of it. But if they can kill you, you're not worth anything to them. And if you're healthy, you're not worth anything to them. But man, if they can get you sick and keep you on medications and keep you on prescriptions and keep you on the loop of having to go to the doctor every 3 months to get your prescriptions renewed, and keep that money coming out of your pocket, you're a cash cow. And they don't want to do anything to they don't want to do anything that's going to remove that money from their pockets. And it's frustrating. 70% of our healthcare expenditures being driven by chronic disease is a massive, massive number, and it's not going away anytime soon. So, one of the things that he talks about this is that Dr. Oz was talking about is this is going to bankrupt our country. I mean, it really is. In fact, it's doing it now. It's all over our country. There are people that have gone bankrupt because of healthcare expenditures, and healthcare expenditures that are being driven by chronic disease. There are people out there that have cardiovascular disease, they have a heart attack, they have a stroke, then they go to the hospital, and you spend even a day in the hospital, you might as well file for bankruptcy right then. It's just this massive, massive burden. And one of the things he said in his little speech was that Americans have a patriotic duty to be healthy. I mean, I agree with that. I really do, but I don't know. I don't know how you can just tell Americans that they have a patriotic duty to be healthy, when the thing that's driving all of our chronic diseases is insulin resistance, which is driven by the massive amount of cheap carbs that are the foundation of our food pyramid, that everyone eats. We have carbs for every single meal. If you go get a burger, you're going to get that burger on a bun. You're going to get it with fries. You're going to get it with a soda. I talked last week or 2 weeks ago about how most of our food stamp money is being spent on soda and sweet drinks, and that causes the same problem. We really only have one big problem, that if we can solve that one big problem, a lot of the other problems go away. And that problem is insulin resistance. If we can get people to understand that it's eating the foods that raise your blood sugar and not having enough muscle in your body, that those are the two things that are driving most of our problems in America right now, well, most of our health problems in America right now. And I say most of our problems because I think it's causing most of the mental and anxiety issues that our kids have. I think our food supply is responsible for. I think our food supply is responsible for a lot of the problems that we face as a nation. And if we can just get that fixed, I think it'll solve a lot of the issues. Will Dr. Oz be able to do it? Will Dr. Oz be able to to reform Medicare and Medicaid to the point where we don't have to spend so much money on medical services because people are healthier. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm glad that somebody is finally putting their finger on the right problem and trying to fix it. Will they succeed? I don't know. It seems like such a massive, massive problem that I think the best that we can hope for is it gets 10% better, 20% better, maybe. It's certainly not going to get fixed because people are, we're a nation of fat people that like to drink our sugar and eat our carbs. and I hate to say it because, I've been doing this for a long, long time. And I know how difficult it is to lose weight as somebody who's lost hundreds of pounds. I know how difficult it is to lose weight. So if you're out there, you're listening to this and you've got one of these chronic medical issues, I just please take out the sugar, take out the carbs, take out the seed oils, take those things out of your diet and see if it fixes the problem. I bet it does. I bet you get healthier and I bet you get stronger. And then, go work out. Go put on some muscle. And I bet a lot of your problems change. All right, guys, I appreciate you listening. This is Aaron with mysugarfreejourney.com.